All right, so we are going to talk about the procedure now. The prompt is scientific writing rules, full sentences, past tense, no present tense, no future tense, right? You're not talking about what you're currently doing or what you're going to do in the future. You want it to be repeatable, and third person means you're not using I and we, okay? So we're going to delete that prompt, right? And instead, you're going to practice your scientific writing skills. So maybe that means 2 slices of bread were placed on a plate, for example. All right, so what you're seeing there is the past tense, were placed. And you're not saying, I placed 2 slices of bread on the plate, or we placed them on the plate. Okay, so this is the style that you're going to use from here on forward, and so you're just getting used to that style. For this particular assignment, 3 sentences, 4 sentences is plenty to earn credit. Another example statement here was peanut butter was spread evenly across 2 slices of bread. Okay, so you get the idea. Those are the types of statements that should go into your procedure. And again, this is just practice, so don't go nuts writing a big long paragraph or spending lots of time on this. You're just demonstrating that you know how to do this. Moving on to results, there's none for this experiment. You can practice adding an image of any old peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? So you could just go to insert image, because sometimes you will be doing that in your DLN, so this is just practice for that if you want that point for doing that. And then calculations, none for this experiment. That's fine. You can leave it that way. I do want to show you that if you scroll down, you'll get to a template for the first lab experiment that you're doing your DLN on, and that's the emission spectroscopy experiment. And there are a lot of calculations for that one, and they're formatted here for you already. So you can use this formatting for equations for this and other calculation sections, which is really handy to have. The point values and the rubric are going to vary based on, for calculation sections, how many points you earn, right? Based on how many calculations there actually are. So there are a lot for emission spectroscopy, so that calculation section is going to be worth more than, say, one that doesn't have many calculations. You won't have any that don't have calculations at all, except for this practice one. Moving on to conclusion, this section has 2 parts. Practice by writing a sentence for each prompt. Okay, so I'm going to delete the prompt again, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this, because it should just be, you don't have to number your conclusion. One thing that you learned, or an experimental finding, make this your own, make it unique to you. Just type up a sentence here. It doesn't need to be bold. About this process of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. As far as real life applications, you can add another sentence about that. Okay, so these are your own sentences that you're adding in, just to demonstrate that you know what should go into these sections of the DLN. And the analysis section is also twofold. Delete the prompt, and you're going to include a source of error, a possible source of error. In a regular experiment, it might be a mathematical assumption or an inherent flaw within the experimentation. I don't know. It's something that shouldn't be human error. So off the top, I'm thinking maybe something about the measurement being imprecise, because making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches is often less precise than some procedures that we would do in the lab. You could talk about peanut butter consistency. Maybe the peanut butter was very thick, and that was like an inherent flaw in the experiment. Maybe it didn't spread as easily because that was an issue. And so think a little bit outside of the box here, but those are the types of things that would go into that type of a statement about inherent flaws or assumptions. That's a good error analysis, not including things like I spilled or things that we would consider human error that could have just been simply done better or redone correctly. And then your idea of an extension or modification, maybe you're going to make, in the future, we could think about making the peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of different bread, maybe from different peanut butter, maybe it's a different type of sandwich. So again, just a simple example here. I'll go ahead and date it, whatever date you actually finish this process. So maybe it's the 26th or the 27th. You have until the 31st, I believe. So go ahead and enter whatever date you finished it, type in your name here, and that serves as your signature. You can also include an image of your actual signature. Sometimes students do that. That completes your DLN. And then you're going to go ahead and upload it as a PDF to Gradescope. So what that's going to look like is file and print. And then within print, you can save it as a PDF and say save. It'll put this somewhere on your computer, usually your downloads, and that's fine. Because then you just want to upload that. And this document is always growing. If you want to shorten it up because it gets too large to upload easily, you can definitely do that and upload just the particular pages of interest. But for now, it's a pretty small document, so I would just create a PDF of everything and then go into Gradescope and upload that there. I have a separate document on Blackboard that shows you how to properly assign pages. So within Lab Lecture 1, there's the Gradescope assignment. That's what you'll click on. But I want to show you, here is a how to submit PDFs on Gradescope and assign pages. And this little tutorial will help you if you're stuck. It shows screenshot images. You would pick your course. If Gradescope doesn't take you right there, pick the assignment that you're submitting for. Choose the PDF. You're submitting a PDF. Select it from your downloads usually, and then the pages are all going to pop up here. You can delete the page if that's not a relevant page for your assignment. You can reorder pages if you want to for some reason. I don't see any reason why you might want to. You can rotate the page if this is usually more helpful for written work. It probably won't happen with your DLN PDFs. But if the page shows up rotated 90 degrees by accident, please rotate it first so it's oriented properly. And then it's just the questions. So there are questions like within the rubric. So if I'm just looking for your title and bullet point procedure and observations, you select which pages have that information and put them here. Maybe the next question is asking about your post-lab procedure. You would select whichever page has that post-lab procedure, and you would assign that page to answering that particular question. You can drag and drop these as well. So once you've put all the correct pages into the correct grading categories, you'll go ahead and click submit. If for some reason this wasn't done or wasn't done properly, you'll get one more chance to assign your pages correctly. And of course, you'll get lots of good feedback on your submission and how it can be improved for future DLNs.